Hi, this is Robert Lee Camp, author of Cards of Your Destiny and Love Cards, and today we're going to have a little discussion about the topic of karma. There's a lot of talk about karma in different spiritual circles. It's mentioned a lot in astrology. We use it in the science of the cards, but I wonder if everybody has a complete understanding about karma. So let's talk about karma a little bit and see what kind of things we can uncover about that. First of all, your birthday, which has an astrological birth chart and which also has a spread of cards called a life spread, is a map of your personal karma. Whatever day you chose to come into this planet, to come into this life, is an imprint. And if it's read properly, it can tell you what your karmas are, what you have brought with you into this lifetime from the past. So let's talk about this a little bit. First of all, karma is represented by the planet Saturn. Let's see if I can get Saturn up here. It's interesting about Saturn. Saturn is the fifth planet from us, but it's actually the sixth planet from the sun. But the symbol for Saturn looks like a 5, just like the symbol for Jupiter looks like a 4. It's the last planet that is visible with the naked eye. It was the last planet that was even known until we developed telescopes to see more planets. But the actual symbol for Saturn is a 6-pointed star. The 6-pointed star is 2 stars, one pointing upward and one pointing downward. And they're in perfect equilibrium, perfect harmony. And this represents balance. What's very fascinating is that the planet Saturn itself has a 6-pointed hexagon on the top of it, which has been there for over 30 years, and scientists still can't explain how a 6-pointed star ends up being in the clouds on a gaseous planet like Saturn. They're still trying to figure out how that is possible. But there you have it on the planet itself, a symbol of what it's all about. It's all about this 6, which is about karma, which is about following the law, which is about, it's divine law that we're talking about here. It's not man's law necessarily. It's completely divine law. So Saturn is the lord of karma, you might say. He's the governing body of Saturn. He keeps track, you might say. And everybody's familiar with good karma, bad karma, instant karma. And we tend to think of karma as bad mostly. But actually there's lots of good karma in your chart too. Like your Jupiter card and your Venus card and your life spread are most likely symbols of good karma that you brought with you in this lifetime. Your birth card is a symbol of good karma that you have. It's the Saturn card in your life spread and perhaps your Pluto card and others that are more stressful that will point to negative karma. The first karma card actually is a very strong symbol of negative karma, while the second karma card is a symbol of positive karma. So how is karma created actually? Karma is created when we act, when we do things, when we say things, or even think things. We don't even have to act them. We can even just think them. Think, act, speak things that are done that are done without an awareness of how that is affecting other people, the people that are around us. It's interesting that Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra, which is a sign of relationship. So Saturn is saying, if you are to do right by me, you have to be aware of how you're affecting those around you. And if you're not aware of how you're affecting those around you, and if it hurts them, you're going to create karma for yourself, where you will have to come back and experience what they experienced at your expense. It seems like a bad thing, like, bad karma. But really what it is Saturn wants us to have the complete experience of life, everything. So if we do anything unconsciously, we will have to come back and experience it from the other person's point of view, if we're not aware of how it's affecting them. And that can be other things too. That can be even good things in your chart, see. It's possible to do things that seem wrong, that actually do not create karma. There's what we call a no that is actually a yes. For example, one night I was at a gas station. It was late at night downtown, and this really shady looking guy approached me, and I could tell he was going to sort of come at me asking for money or something. And I just looked at him and said no. And I was just really clear. I knew that I didn't want him to come over. And I said it, and he walked away. And there was no, I could feel it, there was no karmic repercussion about that. Okay? Now, in the yearly spread cards, we find karma represented in several places. Sixes are karma, for one thing. A six anywhere means karma or destiny. It's something that is going to happen due to something that happened before. It's going to be like a payback of one sort or the other. It can be a good payback or a negative payback. Okay? The other place that we find karma is in the Saturn position. Any card in Saturn, whether it's good or bad, is going to be a symbol of karma, and usually negative karma. Because Saturn is where we really pay karma the most, the Saturn period of the year. I bring up this illustration of O.J. Simpson, and this is the year that he lost his civil trial. And the judgment happened during his Saturn period, actually. And you can see that in his Saturn period, he has a 6 of clubs, and he also has a 6 of spades and 9 of spades underlying it, and he had a 9 of spades vertical with a 7 of hearts and 8 of hearts under it. We knew this was going to be a big disappointment for him. And that's actually when he lost, and it was a huge loss for him. And it was 6 of clubs means a payback of karma of not telling the truth. But it was more than that, because there was a 6 of spades underneath it and a 9 of spades going there too. So it was a karma for a lot of things, and it was all coming due at that time. Having a 6 in Saturn is the scariest symbol for karma. So when you have a 6 in Saturn, you have to ask yourself, have I done something in that suit? Like clubs would be telling the truth, hearts would be within your relationships, diamonds would be financially, spades would be with your work, your health. Have I done something that is likely to come back on me? So when you see a 6 coming in Saturn, you might want to take some time to clean up your act. When a 6 appears in our spreads, we're often a little surprised, like we don't realize that we created some karma in the past. And that's what the Saturn's thing is all about. It's all about bringing our awareness higher so that we're aware now of things that we're doing instead of being unaware. So once we have that awareness, we no longer create karma, negative karma at least, for ourselves in the future. And we can go about our life, and we can be fully aware of our actions. And we may have to do things that hurt people, but we feel it with them. We're not like disconnected. We're being more present with them. So that's my little spiel on Saturn. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll have more lessons to come. Thank you.